I'm building a Subaru and I'm running 9s or nothing. I am down at Possumbourne Motorsport and I have one hell of an announcement. I'm starting a new project. I'm calling it 9 seconds or nothing. You can probably guess why. I want to hit a 9.99 second quarter mile or faster, and it's going to be from a street car. I'm going to show you what I've got for it so far. I've been collecting bits and pieces for it over the past, maybe 6 months. And here we go. Here it is. I have an EJ257 out of a GRB. That's going to be the heart of the engine. This is a 2.5 litre EJ engine with quad variable cam timing. So this is the most advanced engine in the EJ series, the biggest displacement from factory. So this thing has the potential to create the most torque down low and spool a large turbo. So that's going to give me that really good drivability and street performance. And obviously a big turbo with a lot of boost is going to give me the power to be able to run a 9-second pass. Now it doesn't look like a whole lot at the moment, and you can see that it's had a few bits and pieces pulled off it. I've removed the oil pump and the oil cooler to use it on my 2 litre GRB that I'm rebuilding at the moment. But I've only pulled off stuff that I don't need to reuse when I'm building this engine. Now if we wander over here, you will find a GRB transmission. So I've got a 2.5 litre engine, but I've got the JDM 2 litre transmission. What varies about the 2 litre transmission is it does have slightly closer gear ratios. For a track car, that is probably going to be better. However, for a drag car, I'm not entirely sure how these gear ratios are going to go. I'm just going to put it together and see what happens, and I might have to find some longer ratio gears or a different gearbox down the track, but this is definitely going to be strong and it's going to get me going. It does have reasonably low Ks at only 91,000, which isn't too bad for a car that's almost 10 years old now. For those of you overseas, that is around about the 55,000 mile mark. Let's see over here. So, here we go. It doesn't look like a whole lot at the moment, and you can tell that I've pulled a few bits and pieces off it. Those bits have been used on my GRB 2 litre motor. Now that's things like the oil cooler and the oil pump. I was going to upgrade those things anyway, and they were in perfect working order, being that it is a reasonably low K engine. So I've just slapped them on my other build at the moment to get that thing up and running. I'm just upstairs now in the parts room, and you can see that I have a stack of other bits and pieces I've collected as well. I've got a set of 6 factory GC8 wheels. These are 16 inches, so would be perfect to mount a set of drag slicks on. I've got a set of factory GRB twin scroll headers. These things here have been used and proven to produce over 500 kilowatt with the right supporting modifications and a bigger turbo, so I can use them if I need. However, I'm also considering doing a front mounted turbo. We'll just see what happens with that one. To match the gearbox I've also got the diff, the axles, the drive line and all of that kind of stuff. I've got a factory shifter as well, however I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up putting a short shifter in there just to help those slick gear changes. All of the subframes and bits and pieces to hold the gearbox and the diff and whatnot. Got some version 7 Brembos and also matching rear hubs and calipers. I got the standard STI GRB intake manifold, and that's complete with the 2.75 inch throttle body. I do also have the large 2.5 NA intake manifold that I'm going to consider using. I might actually do a back-to-back to see what produces more power, because there are some differences that I like with both of these manifolds They have a larger diameter in the STI manifold but a larger plenum chamber in the NA manifold. Another thing I have to use with this, and I might do some testing around this, is an H6 throttle body. Now the H6 throttle body is 3" in external diameter, whereas the factory STI one is only 2.75. You'll see attached to the STI manifold I do have a complete wiring loom, so I'm not going to use this completely, but I will need all of the plugs and connectors off it so that I can make my own wiring loom. Got a couple of TGV deletes here, so I can use that with either of the manifolds that I have, and I'm going to make it so I can swap between the two when I do some back-to-back testing. Now I've got a couple of options for my heads and my block. So you've seen that I've got a complete long block, but I also have some 2-litre legacy cylinder heads. Now these are the same configuration with the dual AVCS. I probably will just keep them in my back pocket as a spare. And nearing the end of my bits and pieces, I do have a 2.5 block. This is a non-turbo block, but if I'm going to be closed decking it anyway, that probably doesn't matter too much. And I also have a factory 2-litre closed deck block out of an old RS Legacy. You're probably wondering what this is going into, so I want you to give me some feedback. My thoughts are, I'm going to make this a sleeper. Going to chuck it into a GC8 that looks pretty damn standard. I'm not going to go for an SCI or anything like that. I just want a WRX with maybe even Impreza, but I'd love to know what you guys think and what I should chuck all of this gear in, because at the moment I don't have a car. I'd love for you to follow this build and give me some pointers along the way, help me make some decisions on how this project is going to turn out. So please hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it to make sure you get notifications every time a new video comes out. And that's also going to help me get the sponsorship I need to be able to complete this build.